Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Blair and today's video is going to be my June favorites. And I'm doing this get ready with me style, so I'll be going through all the products and applying them on my face so you can see what I've been loving recently. I did go ahead and move back over in front of my window. This is where I used to sit when I first started filming my YouTube videos, and I was just in the mood to sit here again. Sometimes I just love to sit in front of my window and do my makeup. There's no lighting or anything at all, just the window in front of me, and I just feel like I can really see the makeup really well when I sit with the window open. I don't know. I just really like facing the window in the natural light. So I hope you guys like it. If you enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get into my June favorites. The first thing I've been loving for the past month, and this will come as no surprise if you are not new here, is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Corrector. I mentioned a few videos back, I got this in the shade medium. I had the shade fair and I used that for a while and I loved that one, but I decided to try the shade medium and I've been loving it. Loving it. It is such a good peachy tone for me, for my under eyes. I love the way this works. The fair shade works for me also, but the fair shade is a little more, it's lighter obviously, so it's brighter. This is just a little better for correcting. So sometimes actually I'll even use the medium shade and then put a little bit of the fair like right in my inner corner, and that works really well too. And I usually spread this on with a brush. I just use an eyeshadow brush. This is just like a little flat shader, and that's what I use for my corrector, and I've been loving this. This has been my go-to. And then I'll just take my ring finger and lightly press this in. This corrector from Charlotte Tilbury is so good. Like, it gives really great coverage and corrects really well, but it's not drying. It's a very unique formula. Usually with pot correctors like this or little compact cream correctors, you get a very thick, good coverage, but sometimes drying formula. With this, you get both. You get a lot of coverage to correct your circles, but you don't get that dryness, which is awesome. Moving on to concealer. I zoomed in a little bit, so hopefully you can see a little bit better. Moving on to concealer. I cannot believe this concealer is now in my favorites video because for quite a while I thought I did not like this concealer, and I recently decided to pick it up again and try it again, and now I'm obsessed with it. And it's the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. For the longest time I thought I didn't like this because I got it a while ago, like a year or two ago. And all I remember is that the color I had, I did not like. It was so yellow. I mean, it was like a banana shade. It was like a bright yellow. And I always associated this concealer with that color. But Nars has, in the last year or so, I guess, expanded the shade range of this concealer, and I got a new one. And the one I have now is light 2.3 in the shade Madeleine, and I have been loving this since I got this again, and I cannot believe it because literally forever I thought, oh, I don't like that concealer. I've tried it before, but now that I have this new color, I am obsessed with it. And I've been using this pretty much every single day. I love it. The color, for me, this color is fantastic. I also got this new brush in the past month, and it's one of these Smashbox brushes, but it's the blurring concealer brush. It's the concealer version of my blurring foundation brush that I use all the time from Smashbox, but it's a little baby one for concealer, and it is the best for lightly blending out your concealer. It's fluffy enough so that you can kind of blend it out, but it's not super fluffy to where it just kind of spreads it everywhere. It's a really nice concealer brush. So I basically will take this brush and kind of just pat it out like this. These Smashbox brushes are awesome. I have the blurring foundation brush that I use all the time, and then I got this one recently. I got a blush brush also from them recently, and these are just really great quality. I love them all. Okay, so there's my concealer. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really love this. Because for so long I thought, oh, I don't like that. I tried that a long time ago. But I guess it was the color that I hated because I can't get enough of this now. Moving on, let's do some foundation. This was hard because I've tried a few foundations over the last 2 months that I really like. So it was hard for me to pick, but the one that I went with was the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation. I got this a few months ago in a Sephora haul. I shared it on my channel and I love this. It is such a pretty lightweight foundation, perfect for summertime. I've just been loving it. I'm going to take about a pump on my hand, and I'm actually going to use a new brush that I've been using for foundation that I've also been loving. I recently got a new set of brushes from BH Cosmetics. I'll put a photo on the screen if I can of the brush set because I threw the box away, but it's the Crystal Zodiac brush set. And it comes with some face brushes and some eye brushes, and I'm going to use a bunch of the brushes today. One of them is actually this one. It's the number 3, and they call this a blush brush, but I have been using this for foundation and loving it. So we're going to use this today. Again, it's the number 3. It's just kind of a dome-shaped, fluffier brush, and I don't know what made me want to use this for foundation, but one day I was just looking at the brush set that I had gotten, and I thought, wow, that brush looks like it would be a really good brush for foundation, and it is. So this foundation, I would say, is definitely a light or a very light medium coverage. It doesn't cover everything, but I like that kind of foundation, especially for the summertime when it's hot out and you just don't want to cake a ton of foundation all over your face. This is a really nice one. See how pretty? It is definitely a little bit illuminating. It's not dewy, but I would say it definitely does give your face a little bit of a glow, which I don't mind at all. I love it. And I wear the shade Y225. Although right now, I could probably go up one shade because I have been applying a little bit of a self-tanner. But Y225 isn't bad. I'm going to take just a tiny bit more directly onto my brush and just add a little bit more to the cheek area. I like this brush because it kind of allows you to stipple foundation on your face. And I know some people aren't into the whole stippling thing, but I always find that stippling kind of gives me the results that I'm looking for. Instead of like swiping or like really aggressively buffing, I just find that lightly kind of pressing and I guess buffing a little bit, kind of press and buff gives me the best result. Moving on to powder. Now this is a big deal for me to put powder in a favorites video because I am not a powder person typically, especially like a setting powder person, but I have found two powders in the past few months that I love. The first is the Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder. Oh my gosh, I really love this. This is in the shade Light, so it's the one that it looks white basically, but I really like this for under the eyes. And I never say that I like setting powders under the eyes, but I like this one. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and just lightly press it under my eyes and kind of down the sides of my nose. I don't use a lot, just a little. And I just press. And they claim that this powder blurs, and I swear it really does. Like, and I never like powder under my eyes. I won't say never, but I most of the time do not powder my under eyes. But this powder is so nice. So nice. It is pricey. It's pricey. But I love it. And the days that I have worn this, I've tried it with a bunch of concealers. It looks gorgeous with the Pat McGrath concealer, which I also love. It looks gorgeous with the Nars one. It is a great under eye powder. So if you have trouble with powder under your eyes, but you do want to kind of set and lock in your concealer, I would recommend trying this one from Pat McGrath. And for the face, and I can't believe I'm putting this in this video because I just tried this less than a week ago, but I've used it every day since. And it has been working really well for me. And it's the e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. And I like it because it does not look like you have powder all over your face. But it does kind of set everything down and just give you that final step to kind of lock everything in. And I believe this comes in 2 or 3 other shades. This is the lightest one. But if you're darker than me, they do have darker shades also. Moving on to bronzer. I had 2. I tried to pick only one, but I just had to mention both because I've been using both of them. And it's first the Chanel Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. Yes, this is the reformulated version. I've talked about this in a few other videos, but I have not had any issues with this product. I know a lot of people are not happy that they've reformulated it, and I never tried the original, so I don't know what the original was like, so I can't really compare it, but I have had no issues with this one. They added coconut oil to it, I know, which a lot of people are not happy about because a lot of people are sensitive to coconut oil, and I just haven't had any issues with this. I've used it a ton since I got it, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. The one thing I will say that I totally agree with that I've seen in so many videos is they need to come out with more shades of this because it works for my skin tone, but this is not going to work for a lot of people. It's a very, very light bronze. So if you are medium to deeper skin tone, this is not going to show up on you. So I really wish they would make a darker shade or some darker shades. but I have nothing bad to say about this. I have yet to use it and not like how it looks. And I'm actually using my It Cosmetics number 7 brush. I don't know why, but the fluffy end of this I've really been liking for cream products, especially cream bronzer. Oh, I just love how this looks. I love it. Love, love, love it. I mean, it just gives the prettiest natural glow to your skin. I think it's so pretty. Moving on to a cream blush. I've been obsessed with the Fenty one. I got this a few months ago when they had the Sephora sale, and I love this. I love this blush, and this is the shade Petal Poppin. This is the only one I have. I mentioned it in a few other videos, but I really, really want another shade of this, but I haven't been able to decide what shade. So I haven't gotten another color, but I really want one. So I'm taking this onto this little Japanesque brush. There's no number on this, but it's just this domed little round brush, and I am just stamping this over where we put that Chanel bronzer. I love these because they are sheer, but you can build them up. And this particular color, for me, is awesome. It mimics my natural flush color that I have in my cheeks already. This color is very similar. So I don't know, maybe that's why I like it so much, because it looks so natural. But this is the prettiest blush ever. I love it. If you have one of these in a different color that you like, let me know which color you have, because I really want to get another one, but I can't make up my mind because there's so many pretty ones. And I have to mention this next bronzer. I'm only going to use a little bit because I'm already pretty bronzed, but I'm loving the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. And I have mine in the shade medium. This came out, I guess, a month or so ago, and it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Just applying a little bit since I put that Chanel bronzer on. I'll bring some down my neck. I love this product though. So beautiful. Moving on to the eyes. I have used several palettes over the past month or two, but the one I decided to use today that I've really been loving is the Colourpop Nude palette. I actually kind of forgot that I had this, and one day I was looking through my drawers and I saw it, and I used it, and I forgot how much I liked this palette. So I've been using it a lot. So we're going to use this today. I am first going to go into this shade right here. It's called Bluffin', and it's just a matte, kind of an all-over lid shade. I did already do my eyebrows off camera just because there's nothing new with my brows that's exciting. I went ahead and did that off camera. So I'm just slightly going over my eyes with that Bluffin' shade, and I primed my eyes with my Nars Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. This is always a favorite. I love that so much. Okay, so I'm just lightly setting the eye primer. I'm going to use, this is another brush from the Crystal Zodiac set I was telling you about. It's BH Cosmetics number 7. It's a really good crease brush. And I'm going to go into this shade, which is called Bare to Wear. It's a really light, kind of a beige And I'm gonna run this through my crease. Kind of bring it up towards my eyebrow. I've been doing this lately also. The further I bring up my transition shade to my eyebrow, kind of gives the illusion that I have more lid space here. So I've been doing that lately. So today is June 27th when I'm filming this. You probably won't see this until July 1st, but the 28th, which is tomorrow, is my 1-year YouTube anniversary, and I cannot believe I've been making YouTube videos for a whole year. It really doesn't seem like it's been a year, but it has. And I was going back and looking or watching my very first video I did here. I'll link the first video I ever filmed for you in the description box if you haven't seen it, but it's just crazy to look at that video and then the videos I have now to see how far I've come. I was so nervous when I filmed that video, and honestly I filmed it and I didn't even know if I was going to post it just because, I don't know, I just wasn't sure how it was going to go. I've never filmed myself doing something before, and I wasn't sure how that was going to feel, or if I was going to be too embarrassed, or what was going to happen. But I did it. YouTube was one of those things that I wanted to do for a while before I actually got the nerve up to do it. And once I did it, it was like not difficult, if that makes sense. I thought for so long, you know, like I could never do it. I couldn't sit and talk to a camera because I'm actually a very, very shy person. And anyone that's known me in my life would probably be pretty surprised to know that I film these videos, because I'm just not a very loud person. I'm not a very outgoing person, but for whatever reason, when I sit and film YouTube videos, it feels like exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And so YouTube it's just a very therapeutic stress reliever for me. So I love these videos and I love to film them for you guys. Anyway, back to the makeup. I'm going to go into this shade now called Au Naturel. And it's kind of similar to Bare to Wear that we just used, but it's just a little bit darker. This is another BH Cosmetics brush from the Crystal Zodiac set. It's the number 8 brush. This is really nice for the outer corner of your eye. The shape and the size is perfect. So I really love this brush. I will try to link this brush set for you in the description box if I can find it. I hope it's still available. I got mine on Ulta's website. But these brushes are really nice quality. And I believe you get like 8 or 9, maybe 10 for $28, I believe. So I'm just adding a little bit of this right in my outer corner. Just to darken it up a little bit. I'm going to go in with that same brush I just used and go into this shade. It's kind of a burgundy. It's called the Cocoa. And it's a little bit, I believe it has a little bit of shimmer in it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm not going to apply a ton of this, but I did want to add just a little bit of this color. So I'm just kind of placing it where I want it right here. And then once I've got it laid down, I'm going to go back in with the big fluffy brush in the first transition shade we used, Bare to Wear. And I'm going to lightly really diffuse all of these colors together. Okay, I don't want this to get too dark, but I'm going to take a little bit of the dark brown called Moody in the palette, and I'm going to take a little bit of that on this little pencil brush. So this is also from that BH set. It's the number 12. And for this, I'm just going to lightly go along my lash line, like messily, not precise or anything. Just to give a little bit of definition, but not eyeliner or anything. So I'm just sweeping a little tiny bit. Really messily along the lash line. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the middle shade. It's the really pretty gold shimmer shade. Put on Airs. And I'm going to use my finger. And we're going to pop that right in the center of the eyelid. Kind of bring it up a little, up into the crease. And then I'm going to go in with this shade. I love this shade, Wink Wink. And I'm going to use my pinky. And we're going to pop this in the inner corner. Kind of meld the two shimmers together. And then for the lower lash line, I'm going to use Bare to Wear and Au Naturel. I'm just going to mix a little bit of both. And this is another really nice brush I've been loving. It's the BK Beauty Smudge It brush, number 204. And I'm just slightly smudging that on my lower lash line. I love this palette from Colourpop. If you have the Going Coconuts palette, it is definitely similar. So you don't need to go out and buy this one unless you just want to. But I've been loving this palette this month. I'm going to curl my eyelashes with my favorite eyelash curler. This is always a favorite. The Surat Beauty Lash Curler. I have not found a lash curler that is as good as this. For mascara, I have two actually that I have discovered this month that I've really been liking, so I'm going to use both. And the first one is actually from e.l.f. and it's the Keep Your Curl mascara. This is a really good dupe for Benefit Roller Lash. Like, it gives the exact same effect, and I love Roller Lash. It's one of my favorites. So here's the wand. It's just a curved rubber wand, but I used this for the first time in my e.l.f. video I uploaded a week or two ago, and I was blown away by this mascara. I cannot believe it. It's a very thin, wet formula, but it is so good at lengthening. And it really reminds me of Benefit Roller Lash. I like curved wands like this because I use the curved edge to really push the lashes up. Look at that by itself. I mean, I just love this mascara. And then on top, I'm going to do one eye at a time so it doesn't dry too fast. The Bare Minerals Lashtopia mascara, I have really been liking this too. And this is definitely more for volume, I would say, than the e.l.f. The e.l.f. is definitely more of a lengthening mascara formula. And this mascara from Bare Minerals, I actually found at TJ Maxx for like $4. Look at that. I love it. And last but not least, we have lips. And this was also hard because I have tried a bunch of lip products over the last few months. But this lip liner I am in love with. It's the Pat McGrath Permagel Ultra Lip Pencil in the shade Done Undone. It is such a pretty color. It's just a peachy pink, but I love it. It's just my kind of color. I've been using this a ton since I got it. These lip liners, or this is the only Pat McGrath lip liner I have, but it lasts. They're not kidding when they say these last on your lips. They are honestly kind of hard to get off. Like this swatch probably won't come off until I get in the shower and like scrub it off. Love this color. Again, this is the shade Done Undone. And now I'm just going to use, I think I'm just going to use this gloss because this is really what I've been loving. And it's this lip gloss from Bare Minerals. It's the Gen Nude Lip Lacquer, I think is what it's called, in the shade Dahling. And I just love this. It's a really rosy, kind of a rosy nude, I guess. But that color with that lip liner is such a perfect pair. I love it. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked seeing what I've been loving recently. I know I didn't do a favorites video last month, so I wanted to make sure I did one this month because I've tried a ton of stuff and found some really good things, so I wanted to share them with you guys. I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite product has been over the past month or two. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. Also, make sure to go follow me on Instagram at the same username, simply.blair. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.